Right now on News 4 at 10, significant questions. The Erie County District Attorney and Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown speak out about an officer-involved shooting in the city. Hear their reactions.
And we'll be losing that sunshine over the next couple of days. And even though I'm tracking a little bit of rain in the forecast, we have some very good news to show you in that 7-day.
And taking action, students from a Buffalo high school say discrimination is happening against the LGBTQ community. How one student is taking matters into his own hands.
Officer Aquino thought he was shot. And the Buffalo Police Department had no reason to think otherwise. However, after the course of our investigation over the past 48 hours, significant questions now exist.
New questions are rising surrounding an officer-involved shooting in Buffalo where the suspect later died. Good evening, everyone. Erie County District Attorney John Flynn says there are significant questions over if Officer Joseph Aquino was actually shot by Jose Hernandez Rossi and if he actually had a gun. The Attorney General's office is leading the investigation because of the circumstances. This all stems from Sunday night when Hernandez Rossi was involved in a struggle with Officer Aquino and his partner, Officer Justin Tedesco, after being pulled over. Officer Aquino and other officers believed he was shot during the fight, almost losing an ear. There are now questions about if Hernandez Rossi had a gun before he was shot by Officer Tedesco. Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown commented on the progress of the investigation this afternoon.
Any investigation takes time, and when there is an investigation that requires force, things happen very quickly, and a lot of things happen, and a lot of information needs to be pieced together to get to the bottom of all of the circumstances involved. That is the case here.
Investigators are still looking for the gun they believe Hernandez Rossi had. Doctors were able to reattach Officer Aquino's ear. He was released from the hospital yesterday. Well, News 4's Rachel Monjovi spoke with lawyers on both sides of the case to find out if they think the use of deadly force was justified. Rachel?
Yeah, and Alina, sources tell us multiple witnesses said they never saw Jose Hernandez Rossi with a gun. But the attorney representing Buffalo Police says whether or not there was a gun, Officer Tedesco had reason to believe his partner was shot and his use of deadly force was justified.
There was a history with these particular officers. The evidence tends to indicate that Jose was targeted by these two officers that day.
The attorney for Jose Hernandez Rossi says Sunday night's shooting didn't start as a routine traffic stop. Nelson Torrey says Rossi has a past with both officers Aquino and Tedesco. Officer Tedesco shot and killed Rossi after Aquino thought Rossi shot him in the ear.
We are sure when he tumbled out of that car, he was screaming he was shot. He was asking for help, and his partner saw that he had a head wound with his ear hanging down.
The state attorney general's office is now leading the investigation. The biggest question is whether or not Rossi was actually armed. Did Officer Tedesco ever see a gun on Rossi?
It appears not.
After interviewing several people that saw it and have described what they saw, there's no basis to suspect that he ever had a gun or any weapon. This was not a justified shooting.
The state will determine if the shooting was justified, but Tedesco's attorney, Tom Burton, says his use of force is justified by the statute under New York law.
It's not whether or not a gun is found. It's whether or not this officer reasonably believed that his partner had been shot. A number of other witnesses heard the officer screaming for help, saying I had been shot. That's plenty reasonable grounds for this officer who did fire to try to prevent this guy from getting away.
I'm told the autopsy for Rossi has been completed, but the results have not been released. Police spent the past few days searching the Black Rock neighborhood for the gun they believe Rossi used. That gun has not been found. Reporting live, Rachel Monjovi, News 4 at 10.
Rachel, thank you. And police body cameras could have played a big role in this investigation, but Buffalo police do not have them. We're told police have been looking at the possibility of getting those cameras for about 2 years now. Coming up in the next half hour, News 4's Callan Gray will continue our coverage with what police are doing to get these cameras and if it's something that could actually happen in the future. And remember, you can also find all of our coverage on this developing story on our website and our social media pages. Developing news tonight in Niagara County, the sheriff's office says a man sideswiped a school bus with marijuana in his car. Donald McGuire from Ransomville is facing a drug possession and traffic charge. Deputies say he crashed into the school bus on Nash Road in Wheatfield late this morning. 25 kids were on the bus. 5 went to the hospital. McGuire should be back in court June 14th, and more charges are possible. And we are working to learn more details about this crash in Amherst. A News 4 viewer, Sean Lewis, sent us these pictures from the scene at Transit Road. You can see a lot of damage to this truck in these pictures. We have reached out to Amherst Police to see what the condition of the driver is and how this crash happened.
We should definitely have somewhere where students who identify as LGBTQ should be able to go. That's a safe space.
A civil liberties group is suing on behalf of students in the LGBTQ community. They are accusing a high school principal of discrimination and claim the Buffalo School District is doing nothing to stop it. The New York Civil Liberties Union says students at McKinley High School have been trying to set up a gay-straight alliance for years, but have been blocked. They claim the school has a history of homophobic policies.
It's just really sad, just like that, this is 2017, and it's just sad that we are still facing these issues nowadays, just like it's definitely a tearjerker.
It is written into the Equal Access Act that once you allow a club to form, you cannot then turn around and prohibit another club from forming based on its politics, its viewpoint, its subject matter.
The lawsuit asks for an injunction ordering the school district to let students at McKinley form a gay-straight alliance. We did reach out to the Buffalo School District, but they have not provided a response. Now to the latest on the fallout following the firing of FBI Director James Comey. Democrats are calling for a special prosecutor to take over Comey's investigation into Russian meddling in the 2016 presidential election, but Republican leaders are fighting back tonight. Seth Lemon reports.